Yeah, I find it really interesting that on your most recent album there's a song called Boundless.
Yeah, it took a while to figure out how to use that. not this reference, but the boundless is named so. The capitalists refer to God that way. It's the boundless, and I like that because it avoids all the mental pictures. You know, it's just the boundless, and so you know, I've wanted to kind of find a way to fit that into something, and Annabelle Chbostek and I have gotten together and written a song called Driving Away that's also on the album. And we had a good time doing that, and I thought we should try another one. And I had all these bits and pieces of lyrics, that a lot of road imagery, but and for me the road is, it's not just the Cormac McCarthy road or the Jack Kerouac road, it's the road, you know, that we're all on. And it's so I had all this stuff, and Annabelle and I worked it and came up with the song called Boundless.
Yeah, and you got 7 dances for the saints, running a race, looking for the stillness in the womb of space. Boundless.
That was Annabelle's line, which she remembered from something Hindu, the womb of space. But the 7 dances for the spirits has a story with it that I was part of a kind of unofficial, or mostly unofficial delegation monitoring the Venezuelan election that put Chavez in power legitimately a while back. And we were being kind of guided around by a couple, an American woman who was married to a Venezuelan guy who was a musician and who had a youth group in a city west of Caracas called Barquisimeto. And we went to that town, and he got his youth group to perform for us. And what they were performing was dances and music based on, well, not based on, it was a recreation of the music of the coastal Afro-Venezuelan culture and their spirituality, which is like a lot of other spirituality in that region, defined as a mixture of African and Catholic, pretty much. So the saints acquire the attributes of African gods, and the African gods acquire the faces of Catholic saints. And there's some people who find that deplorable and frightening, and maybe it is depending on which god you're dealing with, or which saint, perhaps. But anyway, there was a cycle of dances, of 7 dances that went with this, and these kids got out there, and they ranged in age from maybe 8 to their late teens. So some of them were really good dancers, and the dances were very interesting. Some of them involving kind of sword displays and some very sensual stuff, and all of it celebratory. And so that's where the image of the 7 dances for the spirits came from. It just seems to fit together. So now there's the earth and here's the boundless.
Yeah. And somewhere in between we're running a race.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can segue from that to another topic. One of the chapters in my book deals with metaphors of home. And a very, very early song, One Day I Walk, you sing, One Day I Shall Be Home. And these metaphors recur throughout the body of work, but more often they're metaphors of being homeless or being nomadic, and at home in the darkness but hungry for dawn. That kind of metaphor. Got no city, got no land, got no lover, got no wife. How many ways to say goodbye can one man fit in a nomad life? Life short, call now. Are you still on the way home?
I hope so. I don't like to make predictions like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where it came from. I think one thing that should be noted, and it's it's certainly true of me, and I suspect it to be true of everybody who writes, unless you're writing technical manuals or something, that you're basically addressing yourself. You know, I mean, you write these things to define them for yourself, and you hope that they're of some use to someone else. But I never felt like I had a home anywhere. I mean, I can't remember as a kid feeling like the family home was a home. And it was a good place. I mean, my parents were loving people, and we all got on fine and everything. It was just a normal upbringing. But nothing ever felt like a home. The first place I did ever was when I bought my house in Eastern Ontario in 2004. I filled it full of my stuff, and it was just me and all my stuff. And that kind of felt like home. There was no, because I didn't have to look at anybody else's stuff. And at first it just felt like home, and then after a while I realized, okay, well, the reason it feels like home is that, it's all projection everywhere you look here. So that was fine, and I don't get there very much these days. Anyway, I think about it sometimes, and I think, oh yeah, there's that thing and there's that thing that I don't get to see. But the home, the real home is out there somewhere. The home is out there. Whatever it is I think of as home, I mean, I think it's the same thing that's happening in the morning, the hills of morning, and it's not really a place. There's another song that talks about home as never was clear what home is, but it's nothing you can buy. Can't be bought with cigarettes or nylons or perfume. And all the highest bidder gets is a voucher for a tune. There is no earthly home for me. I mean, if you're lucky enough to be a person who feels like they are at home here, God bless you, and that is an enviable state. But it isn't my state, and so I got to work with what I've got here.
Voice of the Nova, smile with the dew, all of our yearning when he comes home to you.
Yeah, the yearning thing, that's from C.S. Lewis. The concept is my song was Lord of the Starfield, my attempt to write a song